How are we doing? I'm Martin from Gardens for Life in Birdland Homestead. In this video I'm going to show you some of the things that we'll have available for the winter selection pre-sale, which starts from the 1st of August. We usually sell out of a lot of stuff even before it's harvest time in November and December, but we just want to give you guys that really want these plants a chance to get them well in advance. And you can reserve these by just buying them in advance on our website. I'll put a link below. And you can use the discount code Winter is Coming for 15% off everything on the website. Just for those of you stocking up well in advance like the ants. Please remember, if your order contains any item part of the winter selection pre-sale, we'll send all of your order in one go in November. So if you want the rest of the stuff, like the potted plants for example now, just place a separate order for the winter items please. We'll take a look at some of them now. So I'm here in the garden. This is the no-dig garden, which we're turning into a perennial forest garden covered in either wood chips, like you can see here, or perennial plant cover, which means plants that keep coming back year after year, adding on to the existing root system, and therefore miles ahead of the competition in terms of the weeds that are only starting from seed in spring. So how are you doing? We have a wolf in the garden. You're a very friendly wolf. Here's the other one. Excuse me. They get fierce kissy. All right, so here you can see the horseradish. It's a huge plant actually, about 4 foot tall or 1.20 m. And we are doing the roots and the crown divisions all year. And some of the other plants here, like the comfrey, that's the Buchan 14, is also available already. We've also got other varieties of willow, like this curly corkscrew willow, and it has a really nice wood. Look at this. This is actually a kiwi plant growing up it. So we've also got some of this flaming willow, which looks very red and yellow as the season goes on, especially in the winter time. It's really nice to have in the garden. We've got plenty of feverfew, which is a plant that's too easy to grow, but it's tremendously useful and it looks nice, so we don't mind. This is the giant catmint, definitely one of the insects' favorite, and it's a very reliable one too. It grows year after year. We've got some lamb's ear. So here's a Portuguese kale plant. Look at the masses of leaves you get, and they're fairly winter hardy. They're not too bad. They can become 4 or 5 years old. In fact, I've got one plant that's actually 6 years old. But they do grow tall, like the walking stick kale name suggests. They do fall over though and then grow at a right angle. So, but still, you can see the stem down here. Portuguese kale is available now, actually. We've also got some American mountain mint. Look at that. That's nice. We got valerian as well. These are the flowers. They're just finishing now. Look how nice the great mullein is. And great it is. Take a look at the height of these plants. This one's actually kind of leaning over. Take a look at this. And they're getting heavy with seeds now, these stalks. In medieval time they actually used to dip these seed stalks, these great mullein stalks, in tar to use them as torches. Of course you'd have to dry them first, I suppose, but they're very useful. The flowers, you can make an oil out of them, and the leaves you can make a tea. These leaves are a bit too far gone now, but in the first year you get leaves, in the second year you get leaves and flowers as well. This here is a beautiful plant. It's actually goldenrod. It looks like a firework display. And the insects seem to love it. It's a medicinal plant as well. It's in the books. I don't know what it does, but it's nice and it's hardy. It's been here for a year and a half now, so it's proven itself. This is the chocolate mint, which is one of our best mint varieties, along with the iced tea and the peppermint. Look at all this comfrey here. I just cut that back about 6 weeks ago and it's already back again with a bunch of leaves. It is really that quick for it to grow. It's Bokken 14 is the variety. It produces like 4 times as much leaf per acre as the regular comfrey. And this is the flowers here. It's definitely attracting the insects to the garden, but also the seeds are sterile, so it doesn't spread everywhere unless you want it to spread, and you can do so by root cuttings or crown divisions. Let's go up this way. Look at this. This is one of our Daubenton kale varieties. This is Daubenton kale. It's perennial. It also goes to seed, so you can actually get the cutting like this and just make a new plant. It roots really easy, even better than the Taunton Dean kale. We'll get to that in a minute. I find the Daubenton looks nicer, but also it's a bit more tender as well, and it's more reliable actually at rooting when you grow it from a cutting. Plus you get seeds. Look at that. For the first time now we got seeds from our Daubenton kale plants. There you go. We're going to try that. If we get lots of seeds, we'll swap them at the seed and plant swaps. We're going to have a ton of Great Mullen seeds, and we're going to send you all a sample of those, just so you can all grow Great Mullen in your gardens next year. So anyone that places an order in the next 6 months, will send you some free Great Mullen seeds. Just a little sample so you can grow some of it in your own garden next year. In the first year you're going to get just leaves, and in the second year you're going to get the flowering stalk. So it's a biennial. And it's tremendously useful, and you'll be able to keep it going forever and ever, year after year. Hopefully it'll even naturalize in your area. It's actually a native wildflower as well, so it's good for the local insect population. And it's very useful to us as humans. So our tuberous vegetables, which is sort of what we got our name with, we became a little bit famous for growing oca and mashua, which is a tuberous nasturtium, and this is the yacon. So that looks a bit like a dahlia, and you can eat the tubers. They're really nice. They'll all be available for pre-sale on our website. This is the basil mint. Well, you take a look at that. It's like an ocean. Oh my god. I've never seen it go to flower. I didn't notice it last year actually. Look at the amount of flowers. Basil mint is available. It's definitely a unique flavour. It's the closest one that tastes like basil, I've got to tell you. The closest mint variety. I've done a little bit of weeding in this area here over the last couple of days. Just pulling up a few nettles. Rhubarb is available, but limited enough. I'm still looking for a supplier of the Glaskins perpetual seeds. I haven't actually had any success with the ones I got this year. Look at this. These are the American elder. They actually start flowering midsummer until the end of the season, so until about the end of October or even into November, and they smell so nice. It's lovely, a vanilla flavour. So the American elder cuttings are available as well, along with 5 other varieties of elder. I've got lots of other bits and pieces down this way too. This is a marshmallow plant. This one here. Very beneficial to the insects, and the leaves are really soft actually. You can make a tea from them. And it's meant to be good for a dry throat. So we found that marshmallow is very reliable in this climate, and the bronze fennel also as well. You see that here? We're going to get seeds this year. We're going to get a ton of seeds. And look at that. Isn't that beautiful? And it's great for the insects as well. Again, I'm emphasizing the insects all the time because that's how we keep things in balance around here. When you look here, now the flowers are sort of finishing, but there's still quite a lot of them around. There's a great mullein. This is a great mullein when it's in the early stage. This is our willow here. This was only planted 3 years ago now, 2.5 years ago. And I've been cutting it back as well. Let me just show you. Now this is an edge tree, which means it's planted at the edge of the shelter belt. So it'll do better than the rest of them. But I'll show you, look, compared to my hand here. We've got a ton of wood, ton of biomass production actually. The leaves are a great fodder crop for ruminants and other animals as well. And the wood is actually tremendously useful as kindling, we found. But you can even grow new trees from it as well. So that's what we do. We just cut it into 1 foot long pieces and then just plant them in the field. And they'll grow into a little forest. Then you'll have a bit of wood when you need it. Now if it's for firewood, it'll take about maybe 5 or 6 years. But I find kindling is actually the most expensive kind of firewood. So this sort of thickness, just 1 year actually. Look at that. And the amount of it you get. Look at that. It's mainly for shelter, but why not? You get something out of your hedge or your shelter belt. It's blocking the wind anyway, and that keeps all the rest of the plants that are a bit more tender, all the cultivated plants here in the garden, sheltered. And Toby Hemingway once said that a sheltered fruit tree grows twice as fast. Look at this, this is the pineapple mint. It is available again. Lo and behold, we nearly lost it. We lost some of our mint varieties actually. We have a new one as well, it's water mint. It's another one. This one, oh geez, the smell of it, I can smell it from here. It's the sweet woodruff. It's a lovely understory plant, and it spreads with these little roots here, look. These rhizomes, sort of like rhizomes, like mint, but not quickly, unfortunately. We actually want to grow it, and it's a really nice plant to have, and you can use it as a flavouring as well. I think they use it in Germany a lot for ice cream, like Mr. Freeze, all that kind of thing. Here's actually another variety of buddleia. I'll make some of those available just as cuttings. We have all kinds of varieties of flowering currants and black currants and red currants, and some white currants available as well, and josta berries. This is the Daubenton kale without the variegated edges. So if you prefer that one, you can get it. It also grows from cuttings and it's perennial. This is a beautiful willow variety. We'll try and grow some more of them. I might make a little bit of it available. It's called Kami Kami. Just purple tree spinach. And this is a giant leek flower. This is a lovage plant here. Look at that, it's making seeds now. And it is really, really tall. It's like 3 meters or 10 feet tall. And it has fallen over. But it is a very useful plant. The leaves can be used for broths, and the seeds could be used too. It is highly valuable for flavouring and for medicinal purposes as well. And here you can see a mother's wort just here in the background. And look at that, there's some bees already. We also noticed an awful lot of butterflies on our buddleia plants, especially that white one. I'll show you that in a minute. This is Golden Tower Elder. We're doing some cuttings of that one. It's a beautiful shrub. It doesn't grow any flowers as far as I know, or even berries. This is the buddleia. It's a white one. The butterflies love it. You can see the Jerusalem artichokes here, towering everything else. They're about, at this stage, they're probably about 9 feet tall or 2 meter, 250 maybe to 3 meters. They're a tuberous sunflower, for those of you who don't know. I do go on about them quite a bit because they're so useful and so easy to grow, and they're great for biomass accumulation. Again, that means to just add fertility to your site without having to import fertilizer or compost. I do both anyway. I do bring mushroom compost on site, but I also grow a lot of the biomass. These are tremendously useful for carbon sequestration. Apparently 4 times as effective per acre or per hectare as young woodland. And that was a study that was done, that was mentioned by Klaus Leitenberger in one of his talks about the Jerusalem artichoke. You can see here they've got these stalks here, and those leaves and the stalks will dry up completely in November, and then all of its energy will have been put into the ground, into tubers. And you can eat those tubers if you cure them for 2 weeks. That means leaving them somewhere with light, and then you can eat them. Otherwise you'll find out why they're also known as fartichoke. So you can see they make for a lovely summer hedge, and we do grow them in every garden that we have here. Again, here's the mother's wort. It's kind of like a thistle, a nettle, but the bees absolutely love it. We have some other varieties of willow, some black willow, a little bit of basketry willow. Might offer some of that. Here is some black willow. We're only experimenting with these though. We'll see if we're going to offer some of the other willow varieties. Again, here as you can see the shelter belt. And here's some of the Daubenton, and this is the Daubenton kale. So beautiful. And the Taunton Dean, which is also beautiful. In our raised bed. Look at that. That's the 8x4 Vevor raised bed. If you'd like one, I'll put a link in the description below. Here's some hops growing out of it. We had some onions planted, which are probably shaded out at this stage. But look at how productive it all is. It's unreal, so it is, and it's such a small space. So the garden bed itself is 2 foot tall, and I only filled it up halfway, and still the plants did really well. Here's some of the Olympic mullein. Also available now, actually. Some other varieties of yarrow we have. Here's some of the water mint. And here's some lemon scented geranium. The most beautiful smell. Even better than lemon balm or lemon verbena even. There's some of the new plants here. We have Jacob's ladder. And the Chinese mint bush. Over here we have some hybrid poplar, and the reason why it's called hybrid is because it's very fast growing. Take a look at that. That's 1 year's growth. Now those have been planted here 2 years ago, but I did cut it back just to get more cuttings because we can never grow enough of it. But it's a lovely summer hedge again. Even in the winter time the stalks give you a bit of shelter as well if you plant it densely enough. Same as the willows. Here's another variety of Olympic mullein. It's nice and it's huge. Look at that. Japanese wineberries already. Oh Jesus. If our little Jacob had known that, he would have had a mullet. That's really nice flavour. I would have not been able to show them to you on camera, so I'm lucky. Look at that. It's like a little, small little sticky raspberry. I'm going to take a few. And they're so nice. We'll do cuttings of these. Look at the amount of Japanese wineberries here. And it's so much more productive than the Himalayan raspberry and all that kind of thing. Here we have regular raspberries. They're very productive. We've been getting so many raspberries, more than we can eat and more than the birds can eat. And that was always our aim. So don't mind this area. It's a little overgrown with nettles actually. But there is a lot of good plants here, like the oregano and all the kale and marshmallows and lovages. This is the curly corkscrew willow. And look at that. The thickness of wood you get. That's like 10 centimeters thick. Look at that. And it grows really quickly as well. That was only planted there 5 years ago from a cutting. There's some aronia berries, lots and lots of currants. If you've seen my recent video of the productive garden, you'll see our own Birdland variety of blackcurrant and how well it fruits. I'll put a link at the end actually. These are just carrots going to flower. This is the chocolate marshmallow elder. And this is Josta berry. It grows really quickly. It produces a lot of wood and it can be extrememely productive as well. Not quite as productive as the blackcurrants, but nearly as productive. Josta berry is just a cross between a gooseberry and a blackcurrant. So the bush itself, luckily it's not thorny. It's just like a blackcurrant. But the berries are definitely bigger than a regular blackcurrant. Well, look at this. I just have a few bushes here and they're so productive. And we've got cuttings of those. Here's some of those flaming willow. This time of year they don't have much colour yet, but give them time and they'll turn yellow and red. This is the giant catmint. So I'm giving you a bit of a garden tour here while I'm showing you what we've got. See, this is one of the willows. This is the hybrid willow, or biomass willow we call it. And look at the amount of wood you get. Look at this. Look. The stalks are about 5 meters tall or 16 feet. And it's tremendous. The amount of shelter you get, it just makes the garden feel way more three-dimensional, or it makes it feel more cozy. Just make sure you don't put anything on the north side of it, because you'll probably have less sunlight if you plant a tree. So don't put flowers or stuff that produces a lot of sweet stuff like nectar or even fruit. I wouldn't put them on the north side of a tree, especially not a willow, because they grow quite densely. Here's another great mullein. Look at the size of that. I don't know what we're going to do with all the seeds this year. If any of you guys would like a big batch of great mullein seeds and share it around in your area, let me know. Send me an email. We're going to give away hundreds of bags of great mullein seed at our next seed and plant swap, but also we're going to be sending them out as a free gift to anyone that places an order on our website in the next 6 months. So hopefully together we can renaturalize this valuable wildflower. Grow great mullein. Look at these currants. They are looking really healthy. We're definitely going to have the Birdland blackcurrant available. Look at this. You look down here, look at that for wood. It's like a little forest down here. But this is one of the most productive plants on the site, except for the owl Jerusalem artichoke in the background here. Actually, maybe that should be the thumbnail here. But the blackcurrants, they grow quickly and they're really productive in the second year already. They produce fruit. This is a marshmallow plant, a very big one. Look at this. It produces all of these flowers, look. Here's the old curly willow at a younger stage. It's sort of a bit more dark And the young wood, that's this year's wood, by the way. I did cut them back last year. There's a little bit of a passageway here going through. Oh yes, I forgot about the miniature white comfrey. And this one flowers really early. Great for the bees. One of the favourites in early spring, along with the willow catkins. Look at that again. This is the bigger brother. You can see why that one's called miniature. And that one is the giant, the Buchan 14 biomass accumulator. Look at that, how much leaf it produced. And I've been cutting this back already. I think I cut it back about 2 months ago, and it's already grown like crazy again. It's a great plant to have, by the way. Definitely I would recommend this kale plant. There's a red Russian kale is the variety, and it's very good. It actually goes to seed and it renaturalizes. It just reseeds itself every year, and it's very useful, and it's very tender as well. Again, here is the Jerusalem artichoke patch, or sunchokes for those of you in the US. And before you ask, we do not ship to the US because too many packets were lost, unfortunately. If you want to find out more about Jerusalem artichokes, and if you have a bit of space in the garden, you don't need much space, 10 square meters is enough to have a patch. It is permanent. Once you plant it, you'll have it forever, but it is tremendously useful, and it won't really expand. It'll only expand a little bit, every year maybe a foot or 30 centimeters out. You just harvest it back. That's what I do. I've not had a problem. These have been planted here about 4 years ago now, and we have a video of that too. Just in case you didn't catch the start of this episode, this is just a summary of some of the plants that are available as part of our winter selection pre-sale, starting from the 1st of August. So if you want to reserve your plants, you got to buy them in advance on our website, and we'll send them out to you once it comes harvest time. And just a heads up, if your order contains one of the winter items that is on pre-sale, we will ship your entire order in November. Just be aware of that. And please, if you want some of the items sent to you now and some of them later, place a separate order for the winter items. I'd highly appreciate that. And if you're based in Ireland and you spend more than €60, you get free postage. And if you're based in Europe, you get free postage if you spend more than 100, because postage ain't going down. Thank you so much for watching the video. I really appreciate you taking the time. Hopefully it's been of benefit of you and somewhat entertaining as well. Let me know if you have any comments in the questions. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments below. Thanks again. And use the early bird discount code Winter is Coming for 15% off everything on our website. Just because you think like an ant and you're stocking up well in advance. Immediately available also are plug plants like these Portuguese kale plants. They're very healthy looking. We also have potted great mullein plants. And we've got lovage, we got black mullein plants as well, either in a half-litre pot or as a plug. Loads of different stuff, a bit of skirret as well. We'll try and get some of it grown before the end of the season. I just want to show you this little nursery here too. There's some other plants here that are available now. These are the Jacob's Ladder. Look at that. Some of them make white flowers, some of them blue. This is the valerian plants. We have figwort over there, elecampane, the echinaceas. This is goldenrod and kidney vetch in the background. Beautiful flowers and great for the insects, and they have medicinal uses too. Here's some motherwort, some original yarrow. This is the white one actually, the original. We have Louisiana sage or prairie sage. That one is related to the wormwood, and it's a beautiful flower and it's very useful again. And Szechuan pepper, or Chinese pepper, or prickly ash it's also known as. And it smells so nice even when you get close to it. We have the birdland blackcurrants, and look at this, some beautiful looking lemon balm plants. Again, all these plants, you'll have them forever essentially. They should do pretty good in this climate in Ireland or the British Isles. Here's some of the red veined sorrel. Let me just pick one up for you. That's what it looks like. It's only small, the leaves can get much bigger once you plant it in the ground. These are the Olympic mullein. Lots of different bits and pieces. Take a look at the website if you want to know more. And this is my idea of a perennial garden. Just compost, no-dig gardens covered in wood chips. A good thick layer of wood chips now, 4 to 6 inches. And then grow raspberries and other woody plants like currants. We've got the perennial borage as well. It's that one. That grows huge actually. It grows the size of a Portuguese kale nearly, about 1 meter by 1 meter. You can see all of our oca plants here too. Anyway, I don't want to keep you too long. I'll get to the outro now.